Music is for cool. I don't do music. I just sit in silence.
Harry, I can't hear you.
Good.
Okay, that is the start of part 2 of the Blood on My Gilet Bad Film Podcast. We're joined again by Olivia, as fucking always. Fuck off, Olivia. We're joined again by Molly, Madam President.
I'm a plague, I never leave.
We are joined by Harry, a legendary figure in the Bad Film Society.
Yeah, everyone hates me.
Yes.
Yep.
We're joined by Zach, a man who has a deep personal connection to this.
I do, unfortunately.
We're joined by Sam. Yes, we've got the full chaos configuration here.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Get him
Sam
out of here.
cannot be heard currently,
Oh
he
no.
doesn't exist. So slag him off while I can't respond. Can Dave be acquired?
Dave's on right now. I see his name.
Dave seems
Yes,
to
I've got an alert that he's had a problem, so I can't hear him.
Dave's going to the same room as Molly.
What was that noise? Is that? Oh, that was Sam. I can tell from the waveform that was Sam.
Of course, you hear the most feminine moan of all time, and it has to be Sam.
Coincidence.
Nothing more feminine than the moan of a twink.
Oh my god.
You know how there's like astronomer royal, like, you know, fellow royal society? I want to be twink royal.
The twink patter has already started. I've been away from uni for like 2 months, and already I feel like I'm there.
What? Olivia, I love you.
Olivia, stop being... Olivia, why are you so basic?
I'm flexing my loud volume over you.
Olivia Boston moment.
Yeah. What do you want?
What do you want? I'm from Boston.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
I know. I don't care. Get wrecked, Bostonite.
I bought a coffee on the corner for a quarter.
The only thing worse than a person from Boston is a person from New York. Am I right, Zach?
Imagine? Can you imagine being from New York?
Yeah, from New York. Fucking
No.
It's pretty fucking cringe, let me tell you.
Imagine just living in the northeast corner of America. That would be really fucking cringe.
Yeah, imagine living in fucking Iowa, loser.
This is all gay left in.
Fuck you. I'm gonna go.
Every time I have to cut something because we started slagging someone off or whatever, I'm just gonna input a little bit of banter.
Listen.
Olivia.
Iowa maybe, but it has cedar
Damn, I
rabbit.
can't hear
Every
you.
time we swear, it's gonna be Olivia going, "What?"
Yeah, that's just
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Listen,
Make that a
fuck you.
soundbite.
Fuck you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to censor so much swearing.
Wait, are we not allowed to swear?
I don't know. Molly,
You can
Molly, what's your opinion on swearing?
Wait, everyone shut up. Are we not allowed to swear?
Not
No,
on my
you are
Christian
not
Minecraft
swear.
server,
We're
no.
not.
Fuck,
Kindergarten.
shit, ass dick. Pussy,
No
bitch.
swearing on Chloe's Christian Minecraft server, please.
I will swear. I have made it my mission to swear in every Christian establishment in the world, including Minecraft servers. I go to the Mormon church.
Okay,
Amen,
I walk
motherfucker.
into the Mormon church
Because
next
that's there you hate swearing.
okay, I am trying to start the.
Captain sins and it's like cussing. The Lord doesn't like cussing. I never do it. And the Lord comes and just like fuck off you.
Okay, can I start the podcast, please?
Harry
Yeah, I thought
walks
we
into
started
just
already.
a
That's why I
single
was doing the
church.
bit.
Yeah, this is all going in.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, fuck this. Alright, cold open. Okay, so, we're gonna ask Harry first up. Please describe where you currently are.
Where I currently am, I'm in my apartment in Iowa right now.
Lame.
Sam, where are you, buddy?
Me, I'm at home in Kent.
Lame.
Zach, whereabouts are you right now, buddy?
Sam, do you want to start with like slightly less enthusiasm? Like there was the energy levels were a bit too high there. You might have to calm it down for the podcast.
I'm sorry. This is.
I don't think I've ever had to tell Sam to actually bring the energy up.
What Southeast England does to you, I swear to fucking.
It does.
Kent does to him,
No, the home counties really do be doing this to you.
Honestly, I'm just like at a constant like Radio 4 type beat, bro.
Alright, Zach, for the 5th time, where are you?
I am in Edinburgh at the minute.
Cringe.
Based. Dave, can he speak? Where is Dave?
Would
in
you
the
like
void. Good
in
to
the
hear.
void? Nice.
Okay, where he belongs.
Time.
He's finally succumbed.
So I think I wanna start off. So we've just talked about the entire film and making of it. But I want to ask Sam, do you have any particularly fond memories of writing the script?
It was an interesting process. I was on holiday. I was in the Lake District, in bedroom and like on a rainy Tuesday, and we were on a Discord call, like the pro gamers that we are, just writing the script on a Google Doc, and it was just. I think we bashed it all out in about like a matter of like a couple of hours. Me, you, Molly, and I think I don't know.
Don't forget about Jamie.
I was about to say.
His incredible contributions.
I really enjoyed Jamie Fartnett's contributions. I think we put it all in Comic Sans font, which is always nice. And then it was nice because there was sort of like the Lib Dem jokes. Like we just every couple of sentences we just put in some cheap shot of the Lib Dems. I for some reason like I cannot fathom, I think there was all this direct stuff about the user in particular, and all the stuff about the student union that ended up being nerfed in the final cut because it was obviously we can't come out and say bad shit about user because they have the legal rights to our souls at this point. Those of us who have them. And
I think it's. Oh, sorry. I don't know if that was on purpose, but I think it was very funny that you've called them user.
I call them user. It's like there's, I feel used. I genuinely I always call them user. I thought we all did that. Is that just me?
I think it's just
Not
you,
anymore.
Just you.
Then you're like EU, and it's like you. Oh, okay. Anyway, we had all those cheap shots at them, and they all got kind of nerfed down to like Strathforth University, the student union, which is a shame. I'd like to one day have the sort of director's cut, Blood on My Gilet.
We have talked about doing a director's cut or a reboot. Blood on My Gilet 2049, the pseudo sequel.
Yeah.
That's achievable.
Yeah, no, it was very fun, and I really enjoyed being a part of the writing team and getting to spew just this mindless shit out onto a Word doc. I mean, other people had to say it, which is the best thing. It was a great case as well.
Hello.
That's so much power.
And we've got Dave. All right, introducing Dave, a qualified doctor who was for some reason in this film.
Sorry, I couldn't get my microphone working for ages.
Nerd.
Don't worry about it. Dave is the second worst doctor since Harold Shipman.
What about Jodie Whittaker?
Jesus Christ.
His appearance in this film has qualified that for sure. Oh, maybe that joke's getting cut. Maybe it's staying in.
Like HMS or something. They ran a default. They ran a public poll to do it, and like the number 2 option was Harold Shipman. Number 1 was Broken.
I remember. Alright, anyway. So the reason we brought Dave in is he has the best part, the best role in the entire film.
The most expensive role in the entire
The
film.
most expensive role. Dave, man's got expensive taste.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the introduction, Chloe. To be fair, I think my role in this film is the only thing which is stopping me from being pulled at the same level as Harold Shipman, anyway. And yeah, I think I just have the most expensive role, which was also entirely my fault as well.
That is true.
I remember I specifically requested all the additions to my character because I felt that I felt there was a lot of potential there, and that potential had to be fulfilled. So I added some very necessary additions to the basic skeleton of what I was given in advance.
So, Olivia, Dave, do you think the more budget could not have been better spent?
No. I was concerned at first, and then it turned out to be the best part of the film, so I don't regret anything now.
No regrets, okay.
No regrets.
The janitor
I think we used the budget very wisely, in fact.
That mop was crucial.
The beard was also extremely...
Beard was crucial.
Did we actually
It was the highest quality that we could afford as well.
Yep.
Did we really buy a mop? We could have just stolen one from the JCMB.
Actually, it's not. I didn't ever have a mop. I think
this fucking podcast. This is the second time. This is the third time on the podcast where we've suggested just stealing from JCMB.
Yeah.
Which a good chunk of the props.
I cannot officially endorse it for legal reasons. BFS does not endorse.
Uni still 9k a year from me. So I feel like
they're 32k for me a year.
I'm just into this society.
It's not stealing; it's extended borrowing.
I think if you pay attention to the credits as well, you'll find out
running a university thing ever.
Hey,
I'm not
some of us pay tuition. We're just getting our money's worth.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you pay attention to the credits as well, you'll find out that there was never any room in the budget left aside for a mop, and I had to use Belle's broom, which I carried several miles on a bus, and then literally walked down to JCMB later on.
All right, Dav, I don't think you can complain about having to carry props on a bus after...
Oh, yes. Okay, Harry, so Kath has told me a little bit about your journey. What was the making of the film like for you, buddy? Enlighten us.
The making of the film for me was a roller coaster of emotions. Just to preface, I ended up... the filming of this film took place about a week after I got back to Edinburgh, where I was still getting used to seeing everyone again. It was my first time really seeing people. A lot of these people I hadn't ever met in person or had met only a couple times. And suddenly I'd been thrown into this position by Kath being, hey, do you want to be an unofficial committee member for this? And I thought, sure, why not? That sounds like members barely do anything, so I'm sure it'll be fine. And then suddenly I was put in charge of the entire filming schedule. And there was a lot to go on. It started off with having to spend several hours on a call with Kath rewriting the script so we wouldn't get sued. So, thanks Molly, and thanks Sam, and thanks Chloe for that one.
Absolutely no problem.
And but then the next real bit came when we were scouting for the film locations. Obviously, Jamie, the director, he was with the cast, so I was kind of put in charge of that, along with the other members of the film crew being the liaison for the committee. And we ended up going around a lot of uni buildings. Most of it was fine, but I may have accidentally gotten myself de facto banned from the main library as a result of that.
Explain how that happened.
Yes, so basically, for those who don't know, I'm not a student anymore. I haven't been a student since June 2021. I only came back to Edinburgh because I had to spend my last semester back home due to COVID, and I came out for a couple months to hang out with all my supposed friends. And yeah. So I didn't have a valid student card. So we get to the main library. We're scouting it out as a potential filming location, and my card's not working. I can't get into the library. I still had my student card with me, and I'm like, oh shit. I guess because I'm not a student anymore, I can't go in. But we still need to scout this location. So I'm just gonna lie and say that my card's acting funny, so they'll let me in. And it's like, normally stuff like that would work, I presume. But this particular security guard was just really, really anal and was like, listen, yeah, mate, you gotta go to the help desk and you gotta let them know your card's not working, and then you gotta get a new card, and then I will only let you leave the library if I see you do that. I'm like, great, I can totally do that. So we're in the library. We realized pretty early on the library is not going to be a good place to film because people are going to be studying there in the middle of the night. So, and we kind of figure it's not the best idea to bring in a bunch of filming equipment, which we couldn't bring in suddenly at all, and then try to film this madhouse of a film in the main library, which, I think is perfectly valid. But then I had to deal with the situation of, wait, shit, I gotta go to the help desk and be like, hey, my card's not working. So the two other people in the film crew ended up leaving, and waiting for me outside while I was at the help desk. And I kid you not, I was there for 10 minutes, and I just had to keep lying, and they'd be like, oh, we don't see you in our records. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a master's degree now, so I might have not transferred over properly or something like that. And it's like, that's why my card is expired. And they're like, oh, but we still don't see you in our records. I'm like, oh, that's concerning.
Harry, just 5 lies deep, thinking, oh god.
I just keep digging myself a hole, and eventually I just get to the point like, listen, I've been through a situation like this before, and that's actually true. At one point when I was in second or third year, I accidentally got dematriculated, but that's a story for
I love it.
And I had to go through 3 weeks of trying to get back into the university. Which was
accidentally dematriculated.
Yeah, I didn't do it myself. The university fucked up, but I'm not getting into that one. And Harry, I had to... Yes, Sam?
I was going to say, I too love it when I'm asked to help make a society student film and I end up in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I really love it.
That's just what I was dealing with. And eventually I just had to get to the point all right, I'm just going to run to
Oh, no, sorry. Sorry to interrupt. I literally just remembered this is literally a bit in Peep Show where Mark is in a university and has to pretend to be a student.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh.
Hey, listen, this isn't... usually, so I ended up getting out of there. I eventually was just look, I'm gonna go run to the admin office, by old college, and I'm gonna deal with this personally. But obviously, this is a problem, and so I just left. But at that point, I'm like, I can never go back to the main library again. Even if I get a temporary student card, they're gonna recognize me. And since then, I've never been in the main library. But yeah, so that was the main drama of the
Yeah, I can confirm that the security at the main library have always been this extremely anal and tight-lipped. Because there was a time when I was in first year, and I thought I would help them by speeding up the process of me entering the library by pretending to swipe my card and follow someone else in, and they got very, very angry at me and demanded to see my card and then the rest of my identification. Then asked me to swipe my card as well, both on the way out and the way in as well. So even if you are a matriculated student,
Jesus,
and you do actually have a library card, is equally anal.
Mm-hmm. You consider
a place of education would let people into a place of learning.
Yeah, I mean, this is they're struggling for people getting educated as it is. You'd think they'd be throwing people in.
Get educated. We got to make sure you're paying $14,000 a year first. But yeah,
this should be on the Edinburgh student bucket list. Nearly get kicked out of the library that you have every right to be in.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're not a real University of Edinburgh student if you haven't been kicked out of a library before.
Yeah.
And I will say, Dev, we consider doing that strategy to get in, but we kind of realized beforehand that I'm a foot taller than the second tallest person of the film crew. I stand out like a sore thumb. So
Have you considered being a hunchback, Harry, or pretending to be a hunchback?
Have you considered
Walk around on your
getting?
knees.
okay,
Have you considered getting an emergency
You guys have been talking to
amputation so
Alex
you
too
could
much.
blend
Harry,
in?
have you considered getting a wheelchair?
yeah, sure, Jimmy. Let me just, Jimmy, I'm sure that I would stand out significantly more if I was in a wheelchair than I would if I was just tall.
I feel
What if you like dressed up as library security
Yeah.
This
and
seems
then
like a
bullshit you in that way?
No, or can you just do the thing of like where a hive is?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
you're already noticeable. If you pretend to be like so noticeable that it's fucking
in not just
plain sight,
but like
above plain sight, like yeah.
Guys, I think we've
Yeah.
done good enough job that we found the plot for the next movie. Harry breaks into the library.
we could make that like an actual documentary as well.
Breaking into houses.
You know the Nicolas Cage movie National Treasure?
No, thankfully.
It's where he has to steal the Declaration of
Oh
Independence.
yeah.
So you can have that set in the library where you've got to break in
And steal what?
Yeah, break in and
just like
Yeah, you're talking like there's anything of value
I don't
in the
know.
Edinburgh Library.
no,
This
break in
whole
and find
idea
the
sounds
final
like it
H
makes-
letter, since I don't think the final H letter was ever found. But that's besides the point.
all right, Zach,
Yeah.
you played Toby, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And earlier
did.
we spoke a little bit about your accent choice at the table.
did.
Do you want to elaborate on some of your lines and how you really got into the role?
Yeah. So, having been given the script, we sort of had an idea of who was supposed to play who, because that wasn't supposed to be our decision. But that call was made a bit later. So by the time we had gotten the script and gotten familiar with it, I was expecting to be Will. And suddenly I was Toby, who was supposed to obviously be this incredibly like posh guy, and I cannot do a posh English accent to save my life. So I figure,
right now.
Yeah, can you give us a little soup song?
Down.
well, what I can do is there was one, I think it was in the first scene, there was supposed to be a line that didn't actually make it into the movie. I think it got edited out. That I think would have made it probably would have made the actual voice I did make a little more sense. But I figured I'd rather do or butcher my own accent over the top than another one. Let me see if I can find the one line I tried to do English.
Bro, imagine if you still have the script.
I had it open because I knew this was coming up.
Yeah, someone else was
Why is
prepared.
Zach the most? Why is Zach more prepared than any of us? Actually,
Excuse me.
First time for
Olivia,
everything,
what are
really.
these notes?
It's about what we did for proms.
Oh, that's
Our
nice.
process.
Yeah, just for the people at home who can't see what's going on, Olivia is wildly waving a piece of paper in the air that has like.
Jim had
Olivia's
no
gone
name for the near best.
wildly waving a Weezer pillow to oh, she's got it back to an orange piece of paper.
Yeah,
So I
it's
just
Here we
want
go,
really,
I found it.
this is
I
really
just
such
want
a
to
visual
preface a bit.
experience. I wish you guys could see this, like, visually, but you just got to hear my really, you hear this weird mix of horrible American accents and horrible English accents.
So I just want to preface a bit about what Zach meant about that call was made later, I quote, when it came to the casting decisions, was that when we were first given the scripts, we had literally no idea who was playing who, because there had been some kind of serious error in brain function in one of the previous teams who hadn't done their jobs. I remember we found out that it was supposed to be storyboarding who were supposed to have cast us. So I remember I literally just cold called Andrew Howie, like as soon as we realised he was supposed to have cast
Friend
us.
of the show, Andrew Howie.
Yeah, so I gave him a call, and I was like, "So Andrew Howie, can you please give us the cast, please? Because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to assume that you have cast us, but you have not communicated this at some point." And his response was, "Oh, I thought Script did that."
Script, in fact, did not do that. We had a strong idea in our heads of who was playing who.
We had a really strong idea, and we explicitly didn't say it. So if we'd have actually said anything, you wouldn't have had to do a British accent and then not do one.
Yeah, I think your strong idea really carried through in the script, and I think it was really just kind of lost along the way. But
yeah, that was definitely
one
of
the point of the relay challenge, though, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely fulfilled the idea of this being, a bad film where no one talked to each other beforehand. It was definitely a weird one since I only learned about this when I was later talking with Kath, this kind of drama that was happening on the other side. Those kind of like these two, since when I was out trying to find the places to film, it was while the cast were out doing the rehearsals. Basically, the entire time, Kath and I were just kind of liaising with each other to be like, things are going horribly.
I found it very interesting that this was explicitly a bad film and filmmaking society crossover, and we had left all of the main roles in each team to bad film members. I thought it was an interesting decision.
The filmmaking crossover aspect didn't really materialize, to be honest.
Yeah, I got that impression very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But anyway, Howie then said, I will call you back in 5 minutes to deliver the casting details. And the casting details did throw a bit of confusion on what we'd planned, but we decided to run with it anyway.
Yeah, I think if we could have changed something regarding that, we should have just kind of stuck with this error and letting the cast/story team figure out what the hell they're doing, since there already was an idea for what they wanted, and I think everyone kind of knew what they wanted, but just...
Yeah, I think the point of the relay was that we are supposed to pick up whatever horribly broken pieces the previous team has left over.
Exactly.
And so, regardless of their fuck-ups, we have to run with them anyway.
Yeah, and we see that so many times when during the filming of this. I think the most common phrase uttered was, "They'll fix it in post."
Yeah.
Fuck all of you for making us do that. Respectfully.
Yeah. I have no regrets, because if we did not do that, we would have been there till 5 a.m. that night, and
also, respectfully, it was not fixed in post. Nothing was.
Yeah.
I think the post job was actually... Okay, sound aside, let's imagine it's a silent film. The editing was actually fine.
Yeah, the editing's great.
The shot for shot, they were cut together.
In fact, some of the cuts are jarring because, like, the clips we got were just, like, the timing in them was just awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of them, I think Tom forgot to say a line and he was supposed to, like, cut off another character. So it's really weird. But one of the characters is like, "Oh my god, look at that!" And then like they're supposed to cut off, and then Tom goes, "Whoa, watch out!" or something. He just forgets to say it. So this girl is like, "Oh my god, watch out!" And then kind of like stops herself mid sentence, looks over at Tom, and just kind of waits for him to say the line. So we had to like make him interrupt her in post, which really doesn't work when he's just standing there like.
Yeah, I don't remember what that mean.
I think the funniest thing in the film is Tom forgetting his lines.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching this man kind of stand still for a little while.
Yeah, Tom's the best part of the movie.
Is I'm gay. I don't know. I think the editing team sort of pulled it out of the bag to a certain extent, because obviously there's difficult bits where you have sound not really picking up, and there's stuff we've had to change in the script to accommodate user or whatever, who I will call them user. And it was obviously really raggedy, and there's not much you can do in post.
Mm-hmm.
But then a lot of the humor and a lot of the energy comes from the way it's cut together when you watch it. And I think it adds to it. In quite a in a tangible way, and I think that's it's what brings it all together. All the sort of scattershot, strange choices and storyboarding and whatnot, and then
I hold
those
nothing
sketches and making them into something that's it's something on our YouTube channel, and it's
for sure. I feel like weirdly enough, if
on the production of this entire thing to the ends of the earth because it was an infuriating experience. But it was also
Go ahead, Harry.
extremely fun, like working with everyone, and especially some of the performance people did. Like Zach and Dav's performance was just a highlight of being stuck in the JCMB at 10 p.m. and wanting to kill myself. Yeah, I never did.
This is all going to sound really eldritch to anyone that doesn't go to Edinburgh Uni.
Yeah, the
The
JCMB.
I
JCMB
assumed anyone's
is
gonna
very
listen.
eldritch.
Yeah, the JCMB is an eldritch abomination. Have you ever been in it after it's closed? It's like genuinely creepy as shit. There's a reason we chose it for the filming location.
Even when it's open, it's already
Like,
like
it's
at least a little horrific.
Like
I described it earlier as a 1950s prison.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That is the vibe it gives. Pretty much anything that is outside of like the main central campus of Edinburgh, any uni building outside of that is cursed.
I've actually not been to Easterbush. What's Easterbush like?
I don't know. Why would I ever go there?
Isn't that like miles away?
Yeah, it's like outside Edinburgh.
Isn't that like where the vets go and stuff?
Yeah, it's the vet med people.
Should tell you enough about it.
Dav, aren't you a vet? You should probably went there.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm a vet of an animal called humans. So
Yeah,
I've obviously been there my entire life.
Yeah, exactly. You actually grew up there. That was where you were born and raised.
Yeah, that's where we all come from.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone knows doctors and vets aren't actually born; they're just kind of grown in a tube somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It's because you need to cultivate several, poor environmental conditions in order to raise someone who wants to go into either specialty.
Exactly.
And only Easterbush is capable of harnessing that.
Mm.
But JCMB is a close second. It does feel like an actual liminal space. Like it does.
Yeah.
It does genuinely
It's a
feel like
demi-plane. Like it's not real.
It is. It is literally the back rooms. Like the entire place is just the back rooms. Have you ever?
JCMB is like level 100 of the back rooms.
Like there's no there's no windows in any of the rooms at all. Like except like there's barely any windows or anything, so you can't really see the outside. All the hallways are the exact same shade of like gray. If you've ever been in the basement, the basement's a maze. They barely have signs anywhere. When we went scouting for filming, we got lost in the like basement area for like 30 minutes and accidentally ended up in the boiler room. And then we couldn't figure out how. And we thought that'd be a great filming location, but we could never find it again. I'm pretty sure we slipped into a different reality.
Nice.
It looks like my first secondary school. So my first secondary school was built in like the 50s or whatever, and the school want to knock down some of the buildings because they genuinely look like jail cells. But they can't because it's technically a listed building, because a bunch of schools were modelled off of it. That's why there's so many secondary schools that look all shit and the exact same. And JCMB is one of them.
JCMB, if anyone ever has the pleasure of going there, make sure to there's like a 30% chance if you go there alone, you're never leaving the building again.
Yeah, if you go to JCMB, you need to tell someone in advance that you're going there, so they need to contact the police and report you as a missing person if you don't return.
Yeah, it's
Getting
like
an Uber to JCMB is actually a doubly dangerous operation.
oh my god, yeah, we all like a few people got Ubers there, and it was like,
Oh yes, okay, Harry, tell us the story of the bus and cab and everything.
oh, of course, I was meant to tell that earlier. All right, so basically, what ended up happening? Filming ended, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach or Dave. That it ended around like 11:30, 12ish. And
It was later than that. I'm
It
pretty
was
sure.
way later than that, I think.
I know
I
people
thought it was like
stayed-
1.
So Jamie said that you guys finished it about 1:30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
that sounds
people-
about right.
No, I think because a lot of people hung
people
around
stayed
after
that,
filming.
but we definitely like wrapped at 1:30.
Yeah, everyone left around. I thought everyone left around 1:30.
No, we stayed
No,
a bit for like an after filming wrap up and then went up to some common room or something. But the actual filming wrapped at like 1 a.m. I feel like.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's true because I know Kath and I were the last ones left after filming was done, and we didn't leave, and we stuck around for like an hour just talking, and then we left there around like 2:30, and we were leaving there around like 2:33ish. So I feel like I think people left the JCMB around 1:30. It doesn't matter timeline wise, I suppose, but basically we wrapped up late at night. Most people stuck around for a wrap party, but then afterward it was just me and Kat. The plan was both her and I would bring all the props to her apartment, and then since I lived about 5 minutes away from her apartment, I would just walk back to the apartment I was staying at the time. But we just ended up talking for a bit while trying to find an Uber, and it took us like after 20 minutes or so of trying to get an Uber to connect, nothing was going through. Like both of us were trying on our phones and nothing was going through. Or her laptop, since Kat doesn't have a functioning smartphone. But so we were really confused, obviously, until we looked outside and realized it was snowing. And it was snowing. It was 3 a.m. It was right when all the clubs would be letting out. And we had no options because no cab was going to pick us up. We called every cab company and it was we can't come for an hour and a half. It's too bad weather. We have too many people wanting to go right now. So we were kind of in a fucked situation. But we ended up, I think Kath ended up finding a bus that would take us right by to our apartment, but it was a 15-minute walk away. So we just gathered up all the props together and went out into the snow and started hiking out to the bus stop so we could catch the bus just in time. And it was one of the most harrowing walks of my life. Neither of us were prepared for snow. So we were both slipping all over the place. Our arms were full of this heavy equipment, half of which we didn't even use in the filming. So we were just carrying around these useless things. And it was just a nightmare. It was the middle of the night. We had no idea where we were going. But we did eventually make it there. And there was some more drama. At that point, I didn't have a house key for my flat. And by that point, I mean, in the 2 months I stayed at that flat, I never got a house key.
That's actually not
I was very, very... So we ended up having to make a plan where she lent me her library card. So if my flatmates wouldn't answer the door when I rung it, I could just go sleep in the library.
Well, Harry, what is it with you in the fucking library?
Listen. The library's open all night, and it was either... and there was only a few options if I couldn't get into my flat, right? It was by the time we got there, it was 4 a.m. So it was so nowhere would be open. So it was either I go to the main library, which would be open, where I could take a nap at one of the pods, or I sleep in the fucking Greyfriars Kirkyard in the snow.
I think for the Frankenstein vibes, you really should have just slept in Greyfriars Kirkyard.
I could have done it, but it would have been uncomfortable.
I would have been very Mary Shelley.
You would have gone to the hostel that's down the road. I don't believe that you would have slept in the snow.
I do. I think you would have.
Yes,
those vibes.
Yeah, I have those. Yeah, come on. We know I have those vibes. It's not the first time I've fallen asleep in the snow before.
Well, it's not vibes, it's drive and commitment. And
yeah, it's about drive.
It's about drive, it's about power, it's about... Fuck you, Harry.
He's got more drive than Ryan Gosling, put it that way. I mean...
I have lost my vape, and I am fuming. Where did I put it?
I mean, you're not fuming since you don't have your vape.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, everyone, I'm the funny one on the podcast. Everyone like and subscribe and you think I'm a funny guy.
I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, Harry, but
no one's going to subscribe if they do that then.
Subscribe to him or Harry. I'm sure he'll make a lot more guest appearances against me and Olivia as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Not allowed.
I'm gonna... Every time
this is Harry's first and last appearance.
Good. I'll start my own podcast.
We're going to retcon Harry
and hookers and Sam.
So there's this very interesting thing that I noticed from both storyboarding and script is that when given the complete freedom of what they can write a story about and location wise and timing wise, when also considering things, they literally picked the most inconvenient time and place to film. So, they picked the library to film somewhere, which is one of the most public places where you're never going to get any filming permission. There are always going to be other people there who will just be in the background very unwillingly. And then they also pick it at night time that we need to have this set at when, everyone in cast, we want to go to sleep. Like, we don't want to film from like 10 p.m. through to like 5 a.m. or whatever. Like, Harry was literally sending us like locations to shoot at and timings. And he was going to be like, okay, we're going to film up until like 3 a.m. or something. And we're like, Harry, no, fuck that. We're not doing that.
Okay,
This is not going to be feasible.
All right.
We can slag off storyboarding because they're not here. In the script team's defense, we considered that if we were going to follow the storyboard and have it set in like a public place, we should do it at night, where you could film with less interruption.
Yeah, but the library's open 24/7. Like, it is one of the only buildings that is open 24/7 where you cannot get any filming permission because people actually need it to study.
You could have done it in the Dougal Stewart or something.
I mean, I often try to get into the library,
Also,
I
listen
often try to
down.
get into the library, but Harry's sleeping in there, so it makes it.
Also,
Hey, listen here, Dave. Listen, I get ya. The filming schedule was rough, but one, we had to film at night, and two, you cannot also not mention that all the cast said they could only film in the fucking afternoon and evening, so I had limited options, bitch.
We also had like one exterior shot. We didn't have to film at night 90% of the time.
yeah. It was
Yeah, but
like
The exterior shot was during the day.
The cast
Harry, like, I
fucking
hear you.
the cast fucking said they could only film during the afternoon and evening. If we could have gone out earlier, we could have. But I kept getting fucking bitches being like, "Oh, I can't film after 5, or I can't film before 5."
Sorry. So just to
I
point
want to also point out that
I'm doing
although Harry is
quick
saying
fact check here. Sorry, Harry said I keep getting bitches, and that fact check not true.
All right,
Harry
might
doesn't
be
keep
false.
getting bitches.
Fuck you,
It's
fuck
in
you,
your stream.
fuck
Also,
you.
I want to note that I specifically presented to Harry some plans wherein certain cast members, i.e. me, could go home earlier if we finished shooting all my scenes first, to which he undeniably said no. He said, no, Dave, you must stay until the end. So it falls apart in terms of what he's already saying. He's contradicting himself.
The fucking scenes, Dave.
I did not have to be for all those scenes that did not have me, Harry.
You were trying to.
And then you're like, all these people are bitching that we can't fit anything around this schedule. But I wouldn't fit the schedule around them, so that fuck them.
No. Listen. We filmed in 2 fucking locations, all right? There was
we filmed at 2 locations, Harry, because we
let me
closed
finish,
down on
let
those
me
2
finish.
locations. You were like, we're going to film at 5 locations. You were like, we need an exterior shot here for a location we will not film at. Then we will have an exterior shot here as well. We'll film at all these locations. And we're like, Harry, why do we need these shots?
Hey,
Can we just film them in the same building?
First off, we found the content. We didn't film like half the shit that the filming team actually wanted to. Second of all, we did film at 2 different locations. The first scenes, and we were where they were in the classroom because we couldn't get a fucking classroom in the JCMB. So get this, we had to film those scenes while we were allowed to book a fucking classroom, Dave. So we had to do those the earliest. And then we had
Can we come down off the recriminations? We all had a lovely time. We made a film, and Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere. So why can't we just focus on that?
Harry, what I'm trying to say is that these people in cast, they were not bitching at you. These people in cast were trying to make your life easier, and you, for some reason, are trying to make everything complicated by sprinkling these various filming locations.
I was trying to make things I was trying to make things actually work with the cast. Kath and I were trying to figure out.
This is objectively false. Let me
just clarify. I wanted to film over 2 days. I wanted to get that all done. But you guys we only had time to film 1 day. We had to do it after like 5, so we had to just keep going. I said, look, I'm happy to just push things along. But I get it. I didn't want to. Do you think I wanted to be up until 3 a.m. as well?
Well, who knows with you, Harry? Who knows? You're fine with sleeping in graveyards, so.
Well, this is definitely staying in.
Yeah, I have been watching the timer, just going. This is going to be excellent. I love this. Okay, so I think we can sort of wrap up our discussion.
I think we already have.
At the end of part 1, I asked everyone for a noun that they would like to use to describe Blood on My Gilet and their experience of the film. We had some great ones, like Jimmy said, disassociation. So, Molly, let's start with you. Have you had any ideas?
Is my LSD comment from the last part not counting? Estimate.
Okay,
Oh, let's
we'll
come with a new one?
We'll keep LSD. Olivia, no, you can keep the last one.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Harry, what what noun would you attribute to the creation of Blood on My Gilet?
What noun? Suffering.
Hey, that was mine. That was mine.
Olivia just had to go fucking shopping for half an hour. She can't say she was suffering.
Women really do be shopping.
Yeah, women be shopping for fucking fake beards and mops.
Alright, I'm changing mine.
Okay.
Ben, I'm changing mine. Hold on, is this one word?
Shopping?
Yeah,
this is
shopping.
one word. It's a verb. Is that okay?
No, it's got to be a noun. But say the verb anyway, it'll be funny.
Breastfeeding.
I think you said breastfed? No, that's...
Breastfeeding. Because I looked up, I literally just typed into Google impressive but a letdown, and all
That
this
could be a
other,
noun.
just breastfeeding stuff came up.
The act of breastfeeding, that's a noun.
Yeah,
that's true.
Also, suffering isn't a noun.
Suffering is a noun.
Suffering's a noun. It can be a noun.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like general suffering.
Like, I'm in suffering.
You know, fair.
In a
That's
state
valid.
of suffering.
Yeah.
So I'm going with breastfeeding because it's impressive but a letdown, apparently. Like type in impressive but a letdown into Google, and you're just gonna get breastfeeding tips. I don't know why, but
Mommy.
Okay.
Zach, what's your noun? Should I just expand this to a word at this point?
Yes.
Any class of word. Pick a fucking adjective for all I care.
Anarchy.
Oh.
Yeah, valid.
Ooh.
Oh, we're getting political. Fuck. Okay, Sam.
Huh. My words would be.
Ed Miliband.
My words would be. Milibutti. I don't know.
You can have shrug. Shrug can be your word.
I think my word for Blood on My Gilet is masterpiece. Because it is one.
And Dave.
Yeah.
Right, do you want my word or my noun for the filming, Chloe?
Go on, Dave, please.
Inconsolable.
All right, thank you
Like,
all for joining.
subscribe, ring the bell for
I'm just
notifications.
gonna stop recording if you guys keep talking. Shut the fuck up, Olivia. You get another sentence.
Can it be a prison sentence?
What?
Olivia, stream Weezer on Spotify.
If you listen to Weezer, you might find $50 in your Weezer CD that I put there like probably a year ago and forgot about, and now I'm $50 richer.
All right, fuck Maladroit. Goodbye.
No, fuck you. Goodbye.
Bye.
And Harry, what is your final point? Go on.
There's only one thing I truly regret from the filming, and I want to apologize to Dav for. I'm sorry about the cheesecake.
And end.
In case anyone...
This episode of the podcast is called A Blood on My Gilet interview. I'm sorry about the cheesecake.
In case anyone wants context on what this was,
The noodle incident.
Harry eats cheesecakes in the most violently upsetting way possible.
It was pretty.
He eats cheesecake like someone who's recently been released from a mental institution.
Okay, no, you can't. Okay, how? Please describe, Dave, in your best words. How does Harry eat a cheesecake?
So I think most people who eat cheesecakes, they'll do it sensibly. For example, they'll have slices, and then they'll eat those slices by going throughout the entire section of the cheesecake from top to bottom, and then eating that piece out.
Sometimes I do just eat the cheese and then the biscuit separately. If
What?
that's what you're describing, I stand by that.
Okay, well, you see, what Harry does is he not only does he take a random segment of the cheesecake, no rhyme or reason to it, he also takes a random volume, a random cross section as well. Where is he going to go in this cheesecake? You have no idea. Is he going to go for the cheese? Is he going to go for the biscuits? Is he going to separate them out? You also have no idea.
Hey, listen. I ate it like a cup. It started off where I was doing the whole slice by slice thing. Basically, Dav bought like an entire fucking cheesecake with him for some reason, but he didn't want to finish it.
Okay. Me and Molly are meant to meet Kath at 1:45 outside Deviant. So we're gonna wrap up. The name of this episode is officially gonna be Blood of My Gilet interview: The Cheesecake Descent into Madness. I thank you all very much for joining us. Me and Olivia will be back to do more of these, sadly.
Yes, we will. Unless Molly cancels it because she
No,
hated it so much.
this is going on until the end of
Us
time.
woke podcasters.
We'll
see who cancels who.